enjoy this thing.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. If you want to enjoy this thing, you better be a part of it. There you can see the awesomeness of God's work. He said, what is that? I said, it's Superlife we are talking about. The product I'm going to introduce you to is STC30, a product of Superlife. She said, the person who gave her my phone number said, I have medicine for her. I said, no, it's not a medicine. It's just a product, which you will taste, you will not like to leave it. And when your mother will testify, you will glorify God for somebody who gave you that telephone number. She said, well, she don't have enough money to register, but she's going to buy some so that she can use before she remember her parents. I said, okay. She called me again and said her sister, senior sister, is also having a diabetes. I said, well, these are now two cases. If you register, you will have enough to solve your problem. It is not messy. It's just simple STC30, a product that when you use it, you will say, yes, I thank you for introducing this thing to me. So he said, okay, I'm going to send me the address so that I can send this thing to her. Then after looking at it before she can decide whether to register or not. Before this time, she lost the senior sister. I sympathize with her. I said, well, the earlier the better. A stitch in time saves 9. Try and think of what I told you so that you can save yourself and save your mother. So she sent the address to me and I sent her some products. She's still young. She recovered quickly and she told me that that issue that has been bothering her has a little bit relieved her. She controlled her BP. It was normal. The diabetes that was also troubling her, she never experienced anything anymore. I said, how do you know? He said she tested, she was with her doctor and the doctor confirmed that the diabetes has normalized. I said, okay, congratulations. But what of your mother? When are you going to think about your mother? She said she will call me. One of our friends needed the same product. I should try and see her and attend to her. I said, okay, give her my number and let her call me. I'm free all the time. So on her part, she's still on the, can I be a member or can I be a consumer? I said, for me, it is okay. Anyone you want to be is fine by me. But to save yourself and save others who are around you, it's better you queue in. The train is moving, it waits for nobody. Perhaps if she had started on time, she wouldn't have lost her senior sister. However, Superlife is moving well in this part of the world. Because everything is free here in Europe, they even have a free mercy for them for diabetes and all that. No one easily wants to, no Europeans here really wants to queue in and follow the system. But some of our people who are of our race, they are beginning to understand and get the awareness that Superlife is doing something good. STC 30 is doing wonders in the life of people. That is my sharing, and I advise everyone who is around me, who is hearing my voice, the best thing you can do for yourself, the best thing you can do for your family or people around you is introduce STC 30 to them or Superlife products. Before, I just called Prince some few hours ago. Somebody who has been down with stroke for some years now. I think sometimes last month or some weeks ago, I introduced STC 30 to him. I asked them to be delivered to them in Benin. After taking the STC 30, the person was able to walk. Somebody who was abandoned, no one no longer cared for him. He was able to walk by himself and go to the toilet and ease himself. Isn't that amazing? So just yesterday, as I was discussing with Prince, I've now introduced SNC to the person. I asked him, take STC 30 and take SNC. Maybe when you combine the two together, as SNC work in the brain, the STC 30 work in the body, you will have a smooth ride to success. I pray that as they continue to use this product and the product will make an impact in their life. I thank God for introducing me to STC, to Superlife, and for using STC 30 myself. It has been useful to me. It has been helpful to my family. Me and my wife, we use STC 30. We are aging. We don't need to be stressful. We don't need trouble. We don't want to have it before we start running. So since we'll be using it, it has been of a great impact to us. Thank you. That's my sharing. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Pastor. I'm always inspired by your talk. I always sit down silently and listen to your talk. And that's full of love, care, and compassion. And today the world needs this, guys. We need love, care, and compassion. In fact, our business in Europe is spreading very well. I just got news just about 3 a.m. when I got up. Our Betty from Holland, she's just signed up someone from France. So business is just growing, guys, beautifully growing. And I thank Pastor from Belgium. And you see, today we are beyond borders. We actually don't belong to any particular country. We belong to the world. We are world citizens. And Zoom is making that to realize. The 22 of you are going to create an impact now and the other part of the world. And very soon people are going to realize that they are their own security. I'm going to share something now before I call upon Dr. Ofori is here. I thank him. Even though he thought it's yesterday, but I said it's today, then we said, okay, because of time, sometimes time this thing, but he came immediately. I really thank him for that. But before I introduce him, I just want to share how we are looking at why this pandemic is happening and why it's very, very important to self-care. It's very important now. And this is what we have been saying from 2017. And this is what the pandemic is also driving us to. Okay. So I thank every one of you for being here. I thank all of you for taking time to come here. Every step that you take, you're actually going towards your own success by helping other people. Like what one of the songs Frank Sinatra sings, I like the song very much. I will go through a hell for a heavenly cause. I'll go through hell for a heavenly cause. That means we have to do some sacrifice. We have to wake up early sometimes to do this needful thing so that somebody will benefit somewhere. And I really salute Prince for that. Prince is one guy I always see is very committed in what he does, and he spends more than what he earns. That's the beauty about him. Yesterday, I was talking to our new Triple Crown Diamond, Nathan. We were talking about all the leaders, and I said specifically about Prince. He spends more than what he earns, and he's putting a lot of foundation. And very soon he is going to be, I said, you see, sometimes the work that you do, you can even become a legend in this business. Okay, the legend is not from the success you gain. The legend is what you do for other people. The feelings that you give a soul is very important, more than anything else. So me, the pandemic is actually awakening of the soul. You see, we think most of the time people thought they are made of body, and they were slogging themselves with body. They thought they are body. Then they thought they are mind. Then the educated ones all became very complicated, very complex. And that complexity is actually caused this pandemic. And because we were so stuck in the mind. But there should be a realization, soul is the ultimate energy, and that is what we are. And soul is very simple. And that simplicity you can find in the plant, that simplicity you can find in the animals, that simplicity you can find in the universe. That everything is simple. We have to be simple, but we have made our life so complex. This pandemic is like a reboot. If you don't reboot your computer cannot function well for you with all the clusters of viruses in the computer. So the creator used the viruses to make us realize of the wrong that we are doing. And Corona is not new in this world, part of the world, guys. Corona is about 55 million years old. You can go and Google and you can go and study on Corona. Corona is a microcosm, comes from the microcosm kingdom. And that microcosm kingdom is actually been there before us. The first life in this world is algae. Algae, the green thing that you see, the green thing that you see in the waters after that is called algae. That is the first life in the world. After algae, then it evolved into become plants, then evolved to become animals, and evolved to become humans. And at humans, we are supposed to be the most complete species of all the species. 843 million species around the world. God created 843 million species on the earth now, and we are supposed to be the highest. But we are doing things that even the other guys will be crying, and we have caused problem for that. So, like what I shared last night, the balance is very important. We have lost balance, guys. Okay, so now if you see what Thomas Edison said, he said about 100-200 years ago, the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. This is a centuries old, guys, nothing new. It's eons ago. Even in Africa, they used Mother Nature to take care of that. For the word moringa that we have in our SIC, moringa. The word moringa actually comes from Africa, Muruka. Muruka means complete. And then it evolved to become in part of the Indian language also, okay? So now, if you see from Africa, from India, from China, and if you see from the Red Indians in the Americas, and if you see from Australia, all of them were relying on Mother Nature to take care of themselves. They were very aligned. I had a poster that I bought in New Zealand when I went to New Zealand. I like that poster. It was a Red Indian looking at the eagle, and it said the spirit of the eagle. You see, we all were connected to the spirits of the other beings in the world. And that spirit connection is what this world life is all about. But somehow or other, because we are so stuck in our mind level, we cut off. In fact, there is no mind when we are born. We only have the soul and the body. Now, we are supposed to use this body and soul again to create new minds, guys. New mind must be created. That's why new mindset. And when you do that, you will change the perception, change the way things are happening now. This is what's happening in US. I took this article from US, a Facebook from US, and this article says self-care. And that's what we spoke about 4 years ago when we started in 2017. Self-care is better than healthcare. And I got that word from an NGO from UK. In 2017, there was an NGO starting in UK. They say self-care is better than healthcare. Why put your body into the tables of the doctors? When the body belongs to you, you are supposed to take care. Okay, self-care is better than healthcare. And doctors are supposed to be guiding us to take care of our body, not to cut it, to go inside our body. The moment you cut your body, you are exposing to outside air, and foreign bodies can enter in. So we try not to go. Those days they were trying to not to go to invasion. That means no operations and all that. But there are a lot of ways that we can do it. And Dr. Ofori also knows about that. All of us know about that. But because we don't take care, we go to the ultimate step, then they got no choice but to cut the body. Okay. Then digital health. This digital health they're talking about is now iPhone and all that has come up with so many things that you put on your body that can read up your system. You don't have to go and find what's happening to your body. Okay, digital health. And for me, the digital health that we have is that what we are doing now. SLWC global system, we are going around the world. Okay, and natural treatments. People are going back to natural treatments. US healthcare is seeing a shift in priorities now. This is what US healthcare is seeing. If people tell you the healthcare is taking care, but there's a shift now because the government is realizing now they cannot take care of the public because things like this happens, very difficult for them. In Malaysia, one of the guys went into a private hospital for corona. He stayed there for 47 days. He paid about 343,000 ringgit Malaysia just to stay there to take care of his health. So that's how expensive the private sector is. And government cannot take care of everybody. In Malaysia, I just pay 1 ringgit, and that the treatment I get from the hospitals are much better than the private. But government is also finding the difficulty now. So 7 trends shaping up US consumer health today. With the world paying attention to wellness, world is paying attention to wellness, guys, and and we are all about wellness. Okay, and then say with the world paying attention to wellness more than ever before, we asked Scott Melville, CEO of the Consumer Healthcare Products Association, about the factors shaping up the sector's future. Number 1, an emphasis on prevention versus treatment. People are going for prevention. We are always talking about prevention. Prevention, prevention is better than cure. Cost passing the consumer. You see, cash-strapped governments are incentivizing people to pay more for their healthcare, and in turn, people are looking more effective self-care options. So people, once they know they have to pay themselves, they're looking for self-care. Okay, and this is what we are doing. Self-care isn't a choice; it's a necessity. During the pandemic, over-the-counter drugs, dietary supplements, and consumer medical devices have helped treat people at home and freed medical resources. The expansion of digital health. Digital health is here to stay, especially as devices like wearable tech are getting better and consumers are becoming more familiar with capabilities. And number 4 is where we are introducing our digital health, where we are helping them to create the wealth like Uber so that they can take care of their health also. Today, everything is costing you money. Even to buy aestheticity is not cheap, guys, if you're a consumer. Like Pastor was talking about the girl who wants to buy the product. If you want to buy it constantly and consistently, the best thing is to do is become a member. When you become a member, first month, you buy it at a member price. Second month, you can buy at a discounted price. And then if you, by way of mouth, it spreads around in your group, then what happens? Every time you make profit from this, actually you're buying it for free. Okay. Now, the rise of e-commerce. Healthcare consumers often want to visit their pharmacies, but they're becoming more comfortable with e-commerce for personal healthcare. So people are looking for products in e-commerce on the net now. And a shifting landscape. With some of the sector's players moving out of the consumer health space, opportunities are open for new players, including traditional food and consumer packaged good companies. We come actually number 6, guys. We are using traditional way, but on a modern nanotechnology, and we are bringing good food for them. The first time I heard about Superlife, I like the words used by Mr. Harry in the videos, a corporate video. Guys, we need to have a good eating habit, he said. And STC study is a replacement for good eating habit. Okay. And natural treatments. That this demand for natural non-drug treatments and preventable products to tackle ailments such as sleep problems. As the range of treatments evolves, consumers are choosing what's the best for them. So we are giving the best of the best, guys. And this is what we are going to do. Before I call upon Dr. Ofori to go on here, you see, the pandemic is pushing. This is what I learned in the spiritual part that I went through. And this pandemic was expected even in the spiritual realm. And we all used to talk about that when I was 10 years in that realm. Pandemic is pushing the body and mind to seek the refuge of the soul. Seek first the kingdom of the soul. That is the breath, the elixir of life. Around you, what we see, around you that we cannot see the naked eye is actually full of breath, guys. And that is our first food. Some people go on fasting. I know pastors, they do a lot of fasting. And when you do fasting, where do you get your food from? Actually, you get your food from breath. Your breath mixed with the food is actually the food for yourselves. Your breath mixed with your food is the food for yourselves. And they must be balanced. They must be balanced. And the breath, the power of breath is what Corona is actually hitting us on. HIV is actually acute immunity disorder syndrome. Corona is actually acute bronchital disorder syndrome. That means he's aiming for your lungs. Why? Because we are not taking care of lungs properly. We have been smoking more than what we are supposed to. The pollution outside there is worse off, and the cars are too much. Now, using Corona, they made us to stay at home, and less cars are being used outside. So, and we have discipline. We have found a way now not to use car and find a way that we can do things better way. A lot of people there in London now, they are selling their houses in the city. They are traveling back to they're buying houses at countryside because they can do business. They can do their work from home through their Zoom. So today that is a change taking place, guys. And people are now valuing their breath more than ever. They know how powerful the breath is because everybody's life is dangling there. So your breath is very important. Whenever you get up in the morning, you're supposed to get up at 3, 4 in the morning. You're supposed to do the inhale, exhale, conscious awareness. Conscious awareness of the breath that's coming in you. Conscious awareness of the breath that's going out of you. Today, there are a lot of YouTube where people are teaching you that. And that's very, very important. Okay. And then what is now we need now is self-awareness, guys. That you are a very powerful energy yourself and you are your own security. Nobody can give the security for you. No man of authority outside there can give the security for you. They are only your guides. And that's a realization we have to come to. And we have to accept that pandemic is real. Initially, we all were not accepting pandemic is real. And whenever we have to go anywhere, we were not really wanting to do that. But today it's become part and parcel of life. And then now we have to move on to soul empowerment. Why we were made to sit down? Why we made to be at home? There's a lot of bonding now among the family. Personally, I'm more bonded with my children now than ever before. And that bonding can now take place if they have been running for their work, if they have been running for their education, if everyone is running in the family, but nobody's staying in the home. A home is just a house is just the bricks and walls, guys. Home is where the heart is. And no heart was coming closer together because all hearts were looking for some money outside there. So today, God has put us now into the home and given us something that we can do right from the home. And when you teach people that, when you coach people that, when you reach their hearts, teach their hearts and coach them, you are going to show them how to attract prosperity and abundance right from their home. And the mind is not a pot to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Everything is the mind, guys. What you need to look in the people are here now in the room as you're listening to Pastor Ofori. Yes, a doctor and pastor are same. One heals you spiritually, the other one heals you physically. While you are listening to Dr. Ofori, you must see this. How can I take this as social entrepreneurship program? What is social entrepreneurship program is? Today, our work is now evolved to become social entrepreneurs. That means we are helping the society just like a doctor does, just like a lawyer does, just like any professional people do. And how we are doing that? We are coming together as souls, guys. Soul collaboration. We are aligning with each other. We are integrating with each other. We are ascending together. And we are ascending that by lifting people up. This is what the French word says, liberty, and then equality and fraternity. See, no matter which country you belong to, we all are equal, and we have to come together to help that. Dr. Ofori is a medical doctor, and sometimes people in that nature, they won't give their time to us. And he's giving, and we must value the soul for that. Okay? So this is a quick video I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to call Dr. Ofori now. Listen to this video, and that's what you must see as he's sharing now, guys.
Mervyn is a young entrepreneur who knows how to get things done. He inherited Marge, a cow that his grandpa always said was one very smart and special cow. Marge loves Mervyn very much and gives him lots of milk from which he makes delicious cheese. Everyone loves Mervyn's cheese and his business is going well. However, Mervyn is not happy. Over the years, he has noticed his country becoming more and more impoverished. Unemployment is high and everybody is leaving in pursuit of a better future. Seeing Mervyn so sad, Marge decides it's time to help him and his country. she reveals to him the concept of social entrepreneurship. It's like any other entrepreneurship where your product is placed on the market and profit is generated. However, the profit is not used exclusively to enlarge the wealth of the business's owner, but instead is reinvested in order to increase the quality of life and well-being of the entire community. Business success is also measured in terms of positive social and ecological impact. Suddenly, everything was clear to Mervyn, and he became a social entrepreneur. With his newly found business management knowledge, he is now able to successfully balance economic, social, and environmental goals. Social entrepreneurs identify social problems and use entrepreneurial skills to achieve positive changes such as environmental protection and conservation, job creation, meeting public, cultural, and health needs, the inclusion of the most vulnerable members of the community, and so on. With his example, Mervyn has shown us that changes are possible and that the power is in our hands. If you want to achieve something larger than plain profit, then find out more about social entrepreneurship and learn how you can positively affect your community while maintaining a steady income. And remember, by doing good for your community, you're doing good for yourself.
That is what social entrepreneurship is all about, guys. And you see, time, now we know the value of time. And the time that we have, let's not waste the time. And the time can be taken away by the corona around you. And the breath can just go off like that. As long as he's given you 23,040 breaths a day, every breath counts, guys. Let's use the breath wisely. Now let's use the breath to listen to the one and only Dr. Ofori. And meeting this young man is a real dream come true for me, because I always wanted to work medical doctors to see what we are doing the right way. And this is my dream for the last 30 years. And a lot of medical doctors come and they will demand this, demand that, but they don't do it from their heart. This young man is doing it from his heart. That's why God gave him the crown diamond, 100,000 income earner. And he's doing wonderful job for wonderful joy and bringing a lot of joy for people, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ofori. Dr. Ofori, over to you, sir.
Dr. Maha, good evening.
Good evening.
Is my voice audible?
Audible, very much.
Thank you very much, and everybody. My name is Dr. Ofori from Ghana, and this is just a short presentation I'm gonna do, but a mega one will happen because of miscommunication. Currently, I'm in my hospital working, and I thought the program, today is 20th in Ghana, and Dr. Maha gave me a time that was 21st. So I thought the program is tomorrow. So my slides that I prepared is rather in the house. So I had to just come up with something for the community that just met. And it's been an honor working with you all. I hope you would benefit from this short presentation about our health, which is our wealth. Now, joining Superlife, I have been in this community for 2 years. I started in 2019. Just like anybody, I had my own skepticism with products that are communicated of its efficacy. So I had to personally use the product for my own personal use on something that I was personally suffering from, which was severe back pain. Now, based on the back pain, ladies and gentlemen, I've been able to help a lot of people with several health challenges. And I've started taking documentations of clients I personally give the product to for my presentation. So what you're going to see today may not necessarily be visible to you when you go online, but these are data that we are gathering from people that we are personally giving it to here in Ghana and several other places. But before that, let's just take a casual look of what health is by the World Health Organization. World Health Organization defines health as a complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not just merely the absence of diseases or infirmity. what this simply means is that some people are sick, but they do not know that they are sick because they are not having any physical deformity or disease. So they think they are well. Health is not just a physical issue. It can also go mental and also a social well-being. Now, COVID-19 is a virus that came in 2019 December. Now, within the little research I found about the microscopism of this virus is that a tip of a needle contains 100 million viruses. A tip of a needle contains 100 million viruses. So even the electron microscope cannot even identify what this virus is unless they multiply in their numbers. Now, the global concern right now is that because of a health challenge, there's been declining health of a lot of people in our world. Now, this declining health, we used to think that it has to be with air, it has to be with water, it has to be with food and foreign chemicals, but just one microorganism, which is a virus, have been able to affect global health. Now, statistically, we have about 80 million chemical toxicity in the air, but just COVID is 1 out of the 80,000. So you can imagine that many people are even concerned about the COVID organism, but they don't know that there are other comorbidities or other causes that are also contributing factors to our health. Now, aside that, I need not talk to you about the financial ramifications that this health challenge have brought with respect to COVID. A lot of people have lost their jobs, and people who needed to be physically present in order to make income services were not needed in the COVID era. So those of us that started this 2 years ago, we're now grateful to God that whoever introduced this opportunity to us had really done us good. And I can tell you, even though I joined the business late 2019, just the sheer passion of not being afraid and scared of talking to people about these products have really been of help financially to many people, aside myself earning $100,000 passive income. Now let's talk more about health, and there's something that the world is, the WHO is headlining. There are 17 goals of the WHO, and one of it is that these are major headlines that if they're able to eradicate from the world, people can live in peace. The first is poverty, the second is hunger, the third is good health and well-being. So STC 30, SNC, SCC Plus, and other product modalities is actually targeting the Sustainable Development Goals by World Health Organization, Goal 1, Goal 2, and Goal 3. And Dr. Maha's SLWC system and Princess Liberators team that they are doing a lot of coaching is also helping. So these information, it will not be free. Sometimes you need to go to university to get this, but here you get it for free. You don't even pay anything. So let's take notice that by just signing up to Superlife model, at least whatever you are doing, you are also contributing your quota to the WHO model of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And this is a goal that is supposed to end in 2030. Now, before then, we have the Millennium Development Goals. Now, the Millennium Development Goals no longer exists. We rather have the Sustainable Development Goals. So now, let's move on. How do we correlate nutrition and health? And it all has to do with our feeding behavior. Now, if you are feeding very, very well, you become a host. So when you are feeding yourself very, very well, you are boosting your immunity. When your immunity is boosted, there are some microorganisms within our system, which we call normal flora, and they are needed in order for you to also grow. So it's not all organisms that are toxic. There are some organisms within our body that are beneficial and they provide host fitness. Now, pathogens are able to play a role if your feeding behavior is a problematic to the body, meaning that you are taking in a lot of waste or junk food, and so the immunity is reduced, the microorganism function is reduced, and the body's nutritional status becomes very, very reduced, so the fitness level. So this is just a diagrammatic picture to show you that once you take care of your feeding behavior, you as an individual has an increased tendency to boost your immune function. Now let's talk something small about COVID disease. This is something which everybody in the current dispensation knows. Now it's a virus which comes from the family Coronavirus. Now the size of this is 65 to 125 nanometer. Nanotechnology is something that is amazing. So if this virus has a 65 to 125 nanometer, it is really very small. Now the corona is a Latin word for crown. So if you take a diagrammatic view of the COVID, it has a crown with certain proteins around it. We don't use medical terms to get everybody confused, but proteins are things within the virus that it helps it to perform certain functions. Within it, it has its own DNA model. So the DNA model of the virus is here. When it is replicating or duplicating itself, it really has to copy certain codes within the gene itself to bring more versions, and then the duplication happens by binary friction. So binary friction is one divides itself into two, then two divides itself into four, four divides itself into 8, just as the duplication models we have in Superlife also works. Now, from February 2020 to the lockdown, most of the cases were very, very stable. But when the virulence level reached March in 2020, there was total lockdown globally because the number of clients that were being infected by the COVID were astronomical, just as I told you. So within microseconds, a lot of people were getting infected. So if you look at the diagram here, a lot of people didn't even know of COVID in 2019. They heard about it in 2020. And in Africa, I can tell you on authority that people didn't even think the COVID would come to Africa. They thought that Africa weather is hot. Many people even thought that there are very strong alcoholic drinks here, so the COVID cannot attack the blacks. And these were all myths, but the COVID came and a lot of people lost their family, all because of a duplication factor that this virus has. Now, confirmed cases, we use the nucleic acid test in order to test the SARS-CoV virus. But the problem with this virus is that it has the ability to modify its genes. So we now have variants of the virus in our current dispensation. So if you hear the WHO talking about the Delta virus, the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, is becoming very deadly. The ones that we had was a unilateral virus, but the current ones we are having is a mutation or modified versions of the virus. So the mode of testing is very, very unique and is unilateral everywhere by using the nucleic acid test or PCR. PCR is making a photocopy of the cell. So once one virus has been identified, they study the proteins I was talking about on it. Then they use a machine to confirm if the ones that they know is similar to the ones that clients do have. And the third is using an IgG. IgG is an immune response to the body when you have the virus, and the virus stimulates the IgG antibody levels to be 4 times the normal level. So there's always a reference between 0 to 10. So if the Ig level is more than 10, then it's an issue. So 4 times. So if you have someone with an IgG of about 40, this is something to be concerned with. Now, the onset of this virus takes 14 days, 2 weeks before they manifest. So people may be asymptomatic when they get it, but upon getting it, after 2 weeks, it becomes something of concern. And so one of the critical things that they come with is some of them will come with coughing, others will come with fever, some will have diarrhea, some will have vomiting. So we'll be treating it as an enteric condition. Enteric means that the intestines is involved. So either the person is vomiting or having loose stool. If you treat all this and still the symptom does not resolve, after the 14 days, then the central nervous system is involved. Now there's a nerve that is responsible for smell. When this virus attacks the nerve, you lose that smell. So it gives you a term we call anosmia. So clients that have anosmia, inability to smell, have a heightened level of being positive if they test for COVID. Clients that are positive usually have close contact with confirmed cases. So if someone has COVID and you visit the person and there's close proximity, you don't use social distancing, you don't use face masks, you have the likelihood of getting it. International travels, people traveling to hotspot area. In Ghana, we have about 16 regions, but 3 of the regions are now noted for being the hotspot. So usually when people have confirmed cases, we ask of their travel history, and it comes up that they've visited Volta region, Bono East, and then Greater Accra. So these are the hotspots we have. So people who visit hotspots and don't practice social distancing and other COVID protocols really affect them. Passenger who or a crew who have traveled on a cruise, but this is just places where people do partying a lot. So when people are having their birthday or going out, healthcare providers and practitioners, we have the propensity of getting it more often because clients come to us and present as an asymptomatic. Currently, we had a staff in my hospital who tested positive. Now, before that, she presented with symptoms of malaria, which is fever, vomiting, and then chills. But when the anosmia came in and we tested, she was positive. So I was under quarantine. Incredibly, when I went to test myself, I didn't have COVID. And I do say that you don't need to be sick before taking the product STC30. The mentality of some associates is very amazing. They think that this is a product for sick people, and they buy the product and they are looking for someone to sell the product to, and I'm amazed. I'm like, you are in this pandemic era and you are waiting for someone that is sick. You take the product yourself. So amazingly, when the case was tested positive, many people started distancing themselves from me until my COVID test came as negative. And I do strongly believe that by taking the STC30, my immunity was boosted in order to have this negative status. Other than that, I being a clinician who saw this client, I had a higher propensity of also testing positive for that. Now, people who have lived or traveled in geographical area which has elevated risk of community transmission, just as I spoke of the hotspots. So epidemiologically, people are interested in knowing how a disease has the potential to affect community and the world at large. Take notice of that. Now, early recognition of patients that is suspected, probable, or confirmed is really needed in this prevention, social distancing of COVID-19 protocols, because most of these viruses, when the person coughs it out, it does not mean that everybody there gets it. Now, there are certain factors that help with transmission. When the person coughs the virus out, there are aerobes, droplets in the air. So it settles on surfaces. So if you touch a surface, most of the surfaces that the virus touch are things that people have tactile sensations too. They touch a lot, like opening a door. Everybody opens it. So once you touch something, you have to wash your hands. If you are going to a party and many people are opening doors with their hands, when you must have your spirit alcohol to wash your hands with. Anything you touch, and if you bring it closer to your face, then the virus gets there. Or when the person coughs and then there's wind. So if the area is an enclosed area, the virus also gets it with a lot of people gathered at one unit. Now, respiratory hygiene is needed and coughing etiquette is needed. If everybody practice social distancing, if you cough into a handkerchief and the rest, it helps everybody. Now, management of patients with respiratory symptoms or suspected COVID is also needed, such that one person can affect a whole family. So quarantining this person is needed, and application of standard protocols for all patients at all times. You never know who will be testing positive, so everybody needs to protect themselves. Now, this is a diagrammatic illustration of how this organism just starts duplicating within the body. So I'll just make it simple, how the immune system also plays a role. Now, all you do is that when you inhale into your system, the body has what you call a villi. The villi is like a fan. It clears microbe out of it, but the size of this organism, these villi, let me see, okay, these villi are on the lateral edges of the respiratory tracts, but because the size of the virus, so this is just even a bacteria, but the virus is times 1 million of this size. So it enters the airway and starts multiplying itself into multiple loops. Now, what the body does is that it mounts an immune response. So this is one of the immune response called macrophages. Now, the macrophages tries to engulf it into itself in order to stabilize the client. But if this is about 100 million pieces and the macrophage only picks 2, the rest are in circulation, it gets into circulation and the virus starts moving all over the body. So we have this called CAP 65. Most of the people who get this virus now entered the sensorium. Mental state is altered. So many people can get confusing mental status. Now, once the virus is in circulation, it also affects your kidney. So you have people producing urea more than 7 millimole per liter. And if you are doing this, it means the kidneys are shutting down just because of a virus that affected your respiratory system, now affecting your renal system or kidneys. Now, usually the normal respiratory rate is between 16 to 20. Clients with these respiratory symptoms will now have respiratory rates of more than 30. So within a minute, the client is supposed to breathe in 20 normal breaths. When the lungs are shutting down, your body needs to breathe in more air in order to compensate for what is insufficient. So you now breathe in more often. Now the blood pressure also drops. So you usually the normal blood pressure for a normal individual who weighs 70 kg is between 120 to 80. Now 120, 80, we call it systolic diastolic. So systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. Now systolic is when the blood is pumping, the heart is pumping blood outside. So it needs a higher pressure to pump the blood from the heart. So it's always higher. Diastolic is after the blood pumps, it has to relax for new blood to enter before it pumps the next one. So the diastolic pressure is always lower. So if you have a normal blood pressure of about 120 over 80, that is normal. Now, people with these conditions, when the blood pressure is usually checked, you see that it's the systolic has reduced to 90 and the diastolic has reduced drastically to 60. People who are aged more than 65 years and do not take care of their health are at higher risk. So there's the CAP 65 is just an acronym. So we have numbers we give it. If there's confusion, you give it number 1. If the kidneys are involved, you give it 1. If the respiratory rate is more than 30, you give it 1. If the blood pressure is between 90-60, not closer to the 120/80, you give it 1. And if the person is aged more than 65 years, you also give it 1. So between 0 to 1 is low risk. Between 2 out of 5, there's possibly the client's needs admission is probable. Then 3 to 5, there's a high probability of this client testing positive. So that will be for it. So these 3 doctors in 1996, 1998, and 1973 have worked extensively on our body's immune system, and they came up with these modalities that everybody is affected by the environment. Now, if you do not have a heightened immune system, it's going to affect you. So our body has the skin. So the skin is also an immune product. Our body skin is an immune product. So usually the skin prevents the environmental toxins from getting into our body. If the skin is traversed and the body gets infected, then we have the body's own immunity mounting a response, just as I spoke of the IgG in the COVID. So the body now mounts a response towards it. So if the skin doesn't handle it, while the skin is handling it, we call it an innate immunity. And that is within a very short period. The adaptive one is when the body has been an intense infection and reinfection and chronic infection. So when the innate immunity is involved, which has to do with the skin, it takes between 0 to 12 hours. But when the adaptive is involved, it takes days. So day 1, day 2, day 3, up to 3 months. So even though you see the skin as one layer, it is actually in about 5 layers. We have the stratum corneum, abdominal layer, spinous layer, basal layer. So if you are eating product that is protecting that is giving you more nourished skin, you are actually protecting yourself. So you have a transient amplifying cells that has the potential of producing new cells as you grow from a child to puberty to an adult to the aging. The problem is that as we age, the functionality of the transient amplifying cells reduces drastically. So there, the need for all of us to be taking supplement that can boost our immune system. So let's just take a cursory look about how the body responds when there's infection. So this is just an immune product within the body. When the body now is infected, its normal contours doesn't remain the same. It changes because there's now work to do. So basically, that is the immune system activated. So we can have an organism within the body, and now the immune response comes first to engulf that organism. So in our body, we have some immune cells, which we have one called the thymus, which produces T lymphocytes. We will not bring terminologies that will confuse anybody, but T lymphocytes are cells produced by the thymus. Then we have B lymphocytes. The B lymphocytes are cells produced by the bone marrow. Now, the problem is that the thymus, when it produces the T lymphocytes, they are the immature state. It has to move into the bone for the maturation to take place. for the maturation to take place. So if you have a product with your thymus producing T lymphocytes and you have a problem with the bone, which would affect the maturation of the lymphocytes, then there's a problem. So if you are taking health products that helps with forming new cells and health products that help with boosting the bones, then my brother, my sister, you are not losing money. You are actually promoting your health, which will generate more wealth. Now, as I spoke about the KEP65, as you are aging, atrophy, apoptosis take place. Atrophy, it means cells begin to die as you age. Cells begin to die. So if they present a 100-year-old lady, there will be wrinkles. But if they present an 18-year-old lady, there's no wrinkles, because the difference between the 18-year-old lady and the 100-year-old lady is that the 100-year-old lady is having cells dying at that age, but 18 years have new cells forming. So from age 20, from birth up to age 10, up to age 20, most of these up to, let's say even up to age 30, most of these cells are working at optimal level. But from age 30 to 40 to 50 to 60, you see there's rapid decline of our immune products. So a product that boosts your immune system that we provide here in our Superlife world, I think we all are not being cheated if we take it once a day. So every client that is 30 years and above, and you are not supplementing your system, means that Albert Einstein said that compound interest, everybody will benefit from compound interest. It's either you are receiving a compound interest positively, health-wise, or you are receiving compound interest negatively. So most of us that are taking the products, we want to keep our young nature active for so long before God calls us home. Now, in God's best way, within the intestine, we have what we call the Payer's patches. It's also a product that boosts our immunity. Have you ever seen that everybody pays more emphasis on what they wear? So you wear a shirt, the following day you don't want to wear it. You want to wash it before you wear that same shirt again, because if you smell the shirt, there's some odor from your armpits or somewhere, you do want to wash your shirt before you wear it again. In the body, in our intestine, we don't bring it out to wash. It's because the Payer's patches provide the immunity that the body needs. So what that means is that if your Payer's patches is not producing, is not doing its work, then it means you are getting gangrenous bowel, but you are not even aware. So ladies and gentlemen, the Payer's patches is able to do its work because it produces what we call microfold cells within the Payer's patches that does this work from the day you are born to the day you die. So clients that have issues with their Payer's patches, which can be due to poor dieting, which is reducing the immunity of our system, ladies and gentlemen, we need to take notice of it. So just a summary and a cursory look. Once you take the body into consideration, a lot of people are not even aware that we are letting the technological world give us radiation. If you go on YouTube, there are several videos about people not supposed to be charging their phones and talking, because whilst you are doing that, you are giving your body radiation toxicity. Some people have lifestyles of extensive alcohol intake, cigarette smoking, marijuana, weed smoking. Some people, based on the work that they do not have time for even breakfast. So they do not have a healthy dietary regime. They don't take breakfast on time, they don't take lunch on time, they don't take supper on time. So it's not that the food they are even eating is not nutritious, but the timing with which they eat is an issue. Some people allow, I will not even say some people allow, financial stress affects the mental status of everybody. It doesn't matter. If you watch the WHO report on people that are working and how to learn about leverage, any work that you need to be physically present before you are paid, you don't make much from it. So a lot of people are stressed. They don't believe it because once they are going to school, they think when we're young, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and get a good pay. So now that you are working, how do you justify to your family members that you do not have the money they perceive you have? And so family pressure comes on, and a lot of people are aging drastically because of financial pressure, lack of physical activities. I remember when we were in secondary school, every Saturday at dawn, you'll be waking up to go and job. But you start working Monday to Friday. Some people even pick workload activities to the weekend in order to finish and present a report on the following week, Monday. So a lot of people are stressed and tensed and not even enjoying weekends. So ladies and gentlemen, all that we are saying is that your cells, the body is made up, you see it as an organ system, but it's actually made up of cells. Now these cells come together to form tissues, the tissues form organs, and the organs communicate. So you have the central nervous system, the digestive system, the cardiovascular system, the renal system, the lymphatic systems, and all those systems working. Now, if an infection takes place, the body mounts a response. We've already spoken about it. But the problem is that when the body mounts a response, it does not leave it in the state when recovery takes place. Free radicals come into play, and then the body is healed, but the state of the cells are not as it used to be. So if you are getting infection, reinfection, and you are aging naturally, as human beings, we all age day in and day out. You are not getting the same homogeneous level with which it was before the infection started place. So now diseases begin to manifest when there's compromised health disease ratio. So let's say if your infection happened and 10% of your body cells is affected, you still look normal. Even without medication, you look normal. If the system moves to about 20%, you look normal. 30%, you look normal. But when the disease cells now begin to take heed of the percentage ratio, so you now have 60% of the body not optimally well, but the normal cells are still doing the work, then the body now begins to form a compromised state. So now, Dr. Frezzuli in 1991, so Superlife came in 2017, this research I did, but the Mabel Biochemistry Group started even in 1991, and they have been doing extensive research on what they can use plant stem cell nutrition in helping our body boost our immunity. So in terms of scientific evidence, these people have started working in 1991 to date. And Cosmo magazine accredited Dr. Frezzuli 10 years of extensive research in plant stem cell therapy. So what we present to you today is plant stem cell therapy, which have been extensively researched by Dr. Frezzuli in Switzerland. And this is the factory where he produces most of our products. Now, he also uses nanotechnology to do these products. Back in 2017, before I joined the business, there were only some few lines of products in the market. But as the company begins to grow, they are adding other product lines into the system. So we have STC30, which stands for Superlife Total Care 30. We have SCC Plus, which is Superlife Colon Care 15. I already spoke about the payers package. So if you are taking SCC 15 and it is boosting your payers package to do its work, you can imagine what you are doing to yourselves. And the Superlife Immune Care is something that boosts our immunity, purposely for boosting immunity. And Superlife Total Care is the product that we have been using for so long, and it has been in the system since 2017. Some of the products was just launched in 2019 and 2020, but the STC30 has been there for since 2017 when the company started. So most of our testimonies we will share with you today has to do with products that people share their testimonies on the STC30. Now, the phytocell technology that Mibel Biochemistry is using have even won international award. And these are accredited pharmaceutical companies that have appended their signature to it. But the one that I would like to focus on is the halal, H-A-L-A-L. A halal is a group of scientific Muslim community who append their signature to products because some people think that some British scientists can produce product that is targeted at eradicating certain ethnic or socio-economic groups. So many groups have started forming scientific organizations that when you see their stamp on these companies' product appending to them, know that these people have good scientific evidence to back it. So one of the things you can read about is halal, and Superlife has the halal certification in it. So ladies and gentlemen, do not be afraid when you are prescribing this product to even a Muslim, because the halal certificate on it is very wonderful. So that is just it. Now moving on, the nanotechnology that the system uses, this is how it does it. It picks the stem cell from the product, and it is cultured on an agar. Now what the agar does is that it produces more of it, because the agar is a food platform for more growth of the product you want to do. It's like making a photocopy of itself. Then they use the nanotechnology. Once they've gotten the minimum quantity that the nanotechnological machine can produce, it produces it in mass quantity. So next year, double crown diamonds, when they go to build biochemistry, all these things were explained by Dr. Frezzuli. I hope by then I'll be a double crown diamond. Yeah. So STC30, now let's talk about STC30. Most of the active ingredients, we have apple stem cell, we have grape stem cell, we have bilberry, we have glycodin cantaloupe, we have glycodin glidin, we have black currant extract. You see that all these are nutritional products. There are no chemicals here. They are just nutritional. So sometimes people ask questions. Does it have any side effects? And I'm like, if you eat apple, do you get side effects from eating apple? If you eat grapes, do you get side effects from eating grapes? There are certain people who are allergic to some nutritional product. Of course, for those ones, you need to be very cautious, because an allergy can give you some hypersensitivity reactions that many people would not want it. So ladies and gentlemen, if the client do not have apple allergy, if the client do not have grape allergy, bilberry allergy, glycodin allergy, and black currant extract allergy, anybody can take it. But if the person has an allergy, there are other product lines that the active ingredients do not, if that active ingredient do not contain it, you can also recommend it to. Now, what the apple stem cell does is it helps with boosting the skin cells, the epithelial lining of the skin. And I've already explained to you what the cells does, epithelial cells of the skin. And I've told you the epithelial cells of the skin also does immune roles. Now the grape immune functions. Now the grape cells also help with UV radiation stress and anti-aging property. Scientifically proven because it has these grape stem cells in it. Now, bilberry helps with infections. A lot of people come with so many conditions. What the grape does is that it helps boost the immune property. The research I did about our product is that it boosts your immunity to about 80% when you take it consistently for 3 to 6 months. And when that immunity is boosted and you do
this thing is frozen. Dr. Ofori? Hello? Guys, at least we have some technical issue now. Let me see with that. Dr. Ofori, are you okay? Okay, let me continue. Guys, Tiso, he will come back. He'll come back because it's technically some issue there. While waiting for him, I'm having here from US, Mr. Bashir. Mr. Bashir, I would like you to share your feelings. And you see, I think Dr. Ofori is doing a wonderful job. The awareness he gave us about what's happening with Corona and how Corona is saying why ST study is doing a wonderful job for us and most of us. And it's fantastic because from medical point of view, ST study is actually doing a wonderful job for everyone. And it's actually, we need to take it, especially our age and all that. I like his curve 65. Okay, so Mr. Bashir from US, I would like you to share your feelings about what you have heard and how you are seeing this, the product is helping yourself. And because the way you're going it, they say life is not a brief candle, but it's a torch. You have not taken this STC30 and the whole system SLWC as a candle, but a very powerful torch. Okay, so I like Mr. Bashir to share. I'll unmute you now. Okay, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I have been searching for ways by which I can enhance and improve my health since I was a young man. And when I stumbled upon Superlife information, I was very intrigued with the fact that the stem cell technology was based upon fruits and vegetables, that it was organic, and that it was a technology that had been developed to a very high degree. And my soul, my spirit made me feel that this was something that would take my health to another level. And being that I'm still a young man, I'm just an older one, okay? I want to make sure that I can keep my body, my mind, my spirit functioning and able to do the things that I want to do, like for another 30 or 40 years, okay? And I know that that is to some, it seems a lot, but I've met many 100-year-old men and women in my store within the last few months. And I look at that as a sign from above that, hey, you can do this. You just gotta listen and take heed to what I'm sending you. And I think that what Superlife has is something that the whole world needs to have. And I intend to do my part in making sure that a large portion of the world family knows about this project. And thank you very much. My sponsor, Ramesh, his sponsor, Sudagar, and you, Dr. Maha. Thank you very much.
All right. I love that. I love your passion. And, you know, I like that spirit. You see, how to feel young is very simple. Whatever age you are, you give yourself another 30 years. Whatever age you are. That's how we have been moving. And you see, when you are now, like suppose I'm 59 now, okay, I'm going to be another 30 years. I'll give my best shot for 30 years. And do what you need to do to keep yourself going on 30 years. And feel, I like what you said. You are a young man, just grown older. That's all. And yesterday I was talking to our leader he's an agency leader for us. He's the one helping us in Sri Lanka. When I said 72, he's actually 76. He always says, I'm only 76 older, but I'm a young man inside. Okay. So how we see ourselves is very important. And I like Dr. Ofori, but there was a blackout in his area. He's trying to come back in. And you see, whatever we are learning today here, his information is very, very important for us guys. You see, how do I win people? I make sure that I have the information with me. I must know my product first. And all the slides that you're saying, where Dr. Ofori is showing, that were slides I made in 2017. Those slides I made in 2017 after looking at STC 30. In fact, I called the company and told, please do not compare our product with anybody else. One day after I met the founder. And because that night I sat down, I burned my midnight candle and I studied all the ingredients and I compared that with the ancient way of handling things. Because Ayurveda is 5,000 years old and Sitar is also another ancient medicine that comes from India. We have two very powerful systems in the world. One is, you see, all the systems in the world are very powerful. And medicine-based Chinese medicine is also there. India in India also is there. But India Ayurveda means science of life. It's science of life. It's all about aligning ourselves with the creator, aligning ourselves with the mother nature. And like what yesterday I was sharing about what they said in the movie Avatar, Mother Nature doesn't care who you are. All she wants is balance. It doesn't care who you are, what race, what religion, what color, it doesn't care. But you must have balance. If you have balance, then she works with you because the balance is what we are losing now. Okay? So I like Dr. Ofori, especially the part he shared on how the system is working, you know, our immunity system is working. It begins from our guts, that microbes, and that's very, very important. We think that what we are eating is not important. Everything starts from what we are eating. There are two things that helps us, guys. One is our breath. The other one is our food. And his explanation technically, it makes our awareness even greater. You know, you need to know about your anatomy. You need to know the body. So let us hear from him before he wraps up. Dr. Ofori, over to you, sir. I'll make you a co-host now. And this is our first event. We are not showing a proper presentation and thing, and insight to what we are doing so that you all have a full picture of what Superlife is all about. Do not do anything with half-heartedly. And there's a saying in English, don't be apasics. Apasics means you just try to do something just to convince and to make money. No. You must know your stuff. What they say there's a selling is 99% people knowledge, 1% product knowledge. But that 1% you must know 100%. Okay, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Maha.
Yes,
sorry for the blackout in Ghana, but the lights came back, thank be to God. So basically, all I am saying is that the bilberry, the glycoside cantaloupe and glycoside gliding has the potential of fighting the free radicals, those toxins that are left after the body does its work. There are free radicals that are in circulation that now contribute to the aging modalities in our system. So ladies and gentlemen, once you are taking this product, know that you are boosting the immune system. Now, blackcurrant is a fruit, but it contains anthocyanin, which is a color that gives the blackcurrant its black and red nature, and it's very powerful pigment that helps with people with diabetes, fat metabolism, and then also immune boosting. So basically, all that we are saying is that a combination of these products works synergistically to help boost our immune system. So now, how is this STC30 product taken? It's a powdery supplement. You pour it under the tongue, and there are sublingual vessels that take it straight into circulation. As soon as you pour it under the tongue, saliva will pick it up through the sublingual vessels into the internal carotid artery that moves it into circulation to get to the heart, and the heart will pump it straight. Now, just STC30, I think somebody wanted to. So this is the product. Once you pick it up, the salivary gland releases saliva, then it picks it through the vessels underneath the tongue into the internal carotid. So if you can touch your neck, you will see a pulsation there. There's a big vessel called the internal carotid, and that pushes it into circulation, where you have to pick it up and circulation now goes on. And the energy equivalent of this product is eating almost 19 oranges a day. And oranges give vitamin C. Now, people with pedal edema, swollen leg, periorbital edema around their eye, they will have swollenness because of poor albumin, which is a protein that keeps oncotic pressure in circulation. Now, there's something that puts fluid in its vessel. We call it oncotic and hydrostatic pressure. Now, oncotic pressure keeps it within this vessel is supposed to push it. Hydrostatic pressure takes it out. It's like if you have a tube with a perforation. Now, if water is moving through a pipe and there's a perforation, of course, the water moves through the pipe, but where there's a perforation, it starts sipping it out. Yes, so when you are taking vitamin D, it helps with keeping fluids in its vessel, and all those swollen feet, swollen area around the eye and even the abdomen starts to reduce drastically. Now, vitamin E green leaves help with boosting the immunity, and then also vitamin B6 is also very, very good. So in short, what do stem cells do is rejuvenating your aging cells, replicating the good cells, restoring the sick ones, replacing dead cells, and then repairing of the damaged cells, all in order to bring the body into its normal functionality. Now, MSIG is an insurance company that backs the Superlife company. Let's talk about some small testimonies we picked up here in Ghana since 2019. So myself, I'm a testimony because I used to have severe back pain, and upon using the product, the back pain got resolved. Now, pain is something a lot of people struggle from. You can get pain if you have even people who undergo surgery. After the surgery, they get incisional pain. It's because on the skin we have alpha delta fibers that are free nerve endings that relay information to the brain. So the client will still be in pain. Now, within the body itself, we have C fibers, and these C fibers also get pain sensations, and they pick it up. So people who complain about chest pain, you don't see it as a physical thing, but they complain that they have stomach pain. Is because the C fibers are picking all those things. So upon taking this product, this pain was resolved. And I got this client that had a skin allergy to something he took. And upon coming to our hospital, we started orthodox treatment and then added STC30. For confidentiality's sake, his eyes have been occluded because of confidentiality, but he gave us permission to share his story. Now, the functionality of stem cell, I spoke about producing new cells. So if you can look at this picture drastically, you see that the old cells are dying very, very fast and the new ones are being formed. The old cells are dying very, very fast and the new ones are being formed. And with his permission, within just 2 weeks, he started recovering. Just 15 days on admission with the STC30 together with orthodox medicine. I didn't say STC30 did all the magic, but you add it as an adjunct, an addendum, an additional supplement. So the fact that someone is having hypertension, diabetes, or is on medication, it's advisable to tell the client that he should continue being on his regular meds. You are not a clinician. Don't put yourself into any medical legal issue. Just tell the client he can add it up to his regular medication. So after 1 month, we did a follow-up, and this was our clients. So we know that the product really does magic. So this is a man that came to share testimony. He's now a leader in my organization. He's called Mr. Godson. I personally went to his office and spoke to him about the product, and he was looking for a child. And thank be to God, the wife was able to conceive and deliver this baby boy. So this baby was born in 2020. So currently the child has started walking. So thank be to Superlife, we now have a Superlife baby in Ghana. The second one is Mr. Osman Safiano, also currently a leader. He recently became a leader, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And so just by sharing what the product has done for you, you can make money. And the business model of this presentation, Prince and Dr. Maha and everybody who is doing Superlife will take you through. We are here to talk about what the product does for people who have been taking it. And this is the third baby we have in our system. So back in 2019, when I was crossing borders, so this one I was crossing from Ghana to Togo, and I met this man, introduced myself as a medical officer. He said, look, I'd like to see you. They've been married and they were looking for a child. I gave the product to him, and voila. So for infertility issues, this product does work. And now there's an eye condition called pterygium, which client was booked for surgery. And I told you that what the product does is also repair damaged cells. So this client have been on a surgical, he was booked for surgery and he was afraid of it, but he decided to try the STC30 first. And upon using it, he came to share a testimony on the product. So these are clients who have used the product personally, given to them. And I'm not afraid to give it to anybody because I know what the product does. And I present the findings within the past 2 years since I joined. And this is a man who allowed me to use his image. He was having peripheral neuropathy. He couldn't move the legs. Now, people with peripheral neuropathies, when it reaches the final stage, the problem is that their leg can be in fire and they will not be aware that their legs are burning, or something can prick them and they will not be aware because sensation to the terminal endings of the nerve within the peripheral lower limb, they don't feel it again. Now, this man took this product. I went to his house. He didn't come to my hospital. I went to his house, presented this to him, and he took it. And now he's been able to have sensation in the lower limb. And this is a friend of mine who had severe throat pain. They did an endoscopy and he could not see any improvements upon being on so many hospital drugs. So I told him to start using STC30. So back in April 2020, he sent me a message telling me that he has seen improvement upon taking the STC30 and was asking if he could add vitamin C because vitamin C was prescribed by the doctor that was attending to him. And I said, yes, he could take it. So I see many people giving false information. Don't take any other hospital medication. Don't put yourself in that state. Let the client use the hospital medication and let his doctor review him and say that you are now okay, you don't need the vitamin C again. Don't push yourself. So these are clients who call me. There's WhatsApp, there's Instagram, and everywhere. And the next picture I'm going to show, if I have to advise people who are seeing this, because there was a client that had fibroid, which we call myoma, and it's been worrying her because she's been having severe bleeding every single time, and it is also affecting her ability to conceive. Now, I posted something on social media, and a friend of mine called me. So this friend of mine got hooked on to the STC30, and he had a lady who had this issue. So she thought it was spiritual. So she came for prayers from this friend because he was a reverend minister. So this reverend minister, of course, prayed for the lady and also recommended STC30. And all these clots came out after taking the product. And he did a scan. And the scan said that she was, they couldn't find any mass. So they got interesting because the clinician who was taking care of this client knew that this client had fibroid, but you could see that now they are commenting that he has a right ovary showing normal follicular cyst, which was normal, but now they are not seeing any other mass. So basically, all we are saying that to boost your immunity, you have to eat or maintain balanced diet. You have to wash your hands. You have to get adequate rest. You have to exercise. You have to hydrate, and of course, hello.
We lost your voice.
Hello?
Now you came back. You came back now.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Where do I start? Is it?
Yeah, you lost your voice. The last part. I think so. You saw your picture. Hello. Yeah, this part. Yes.
Oh, sorry. The network, I forgot to.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is that these products combination help and work synergistically to help the body. And the product is taken preferably sublingual. So the sublingual usage of the product takes it through the vessels underneath the tongue that gets into the carotid. So this is a powdery supplement. When you pour it under the tongue, it gets into the bigger vessels, and the bigger vessels picks it up into circulation. Now, the energy equivalent you are giving your body is like taking 85 pieces of banana, 44 eggs, 22 kilograms of green leaves, and 85 and 19 oranges. And all I was saying is that now vitamin C is very good because I've spoken about the skin. And if you are eating vitamin C.
Dr. Ofori, all this you covered this now. Actually, we were able to see. Only the last part.
Okay.
Last part. All this was okay.
What about this?
All this was okay. The last part.
Well,
yes.
This part.
This part was okay. This part was okay. Next one. Okay. And the next one. Yeah, you stopped here.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
What I was saying is that for this client, she had fibroid.
No, this one is you covered. This one is you covered. You covered this.
Okay.
Yeah, we stopped here.
So all I am saying is that this is a product that if you have data, internet, and your product you show and have knowledge about, you can talk to people about it. And you need to start reading about your body. And everybody who reads become a leader. So God bless our Hazel. This will be the slide for now. We will prepare another one and delve straight into it. So I'm very sorry for the muting of myself. I didn't know, but God bless you all for having this section with me. And until we meet again, I'll pick some questions for now. If anybody has a question,
yes,
let's address those questions. And
let us thank Dr. Ofori. It's not easy for a young man. I know he must have been his operation theaters and he's been very busy throughout the day. And he has taken now is at almost 11 p.m. I think so for him. What's the time now, Dr. Ofori?
It's 12 a.m.
12 a.m. for him. Okay, and that time is now sacrificing for us. And I really salute him. And that's why he's always blessed. And now you guys got any questions, you all can ask him now pertaining to our product, because he's the best person to answer being in the medical sector. And that will actually boost you. You see, whatever you learn here, whatever you're seeing here, you don't have to vomit out every time you're seeing some prospect. But it will give you confidence when they speak to you. Okay, or they ask you anything. So if you have any question, please put up your hands and I can ask Dr. Ofori to guide you pertaining to what he shared. All right. So yes, Gamutri Salvanas from actually Cameroon. Okay, I'll unmute you. You can ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Maha. It's a wonderful privilege to be here today to attend this session that is starting.
Yes.
I want to thank you immensely. And I also want to thank Mr. Prakash for sharing the link with me so that I can get connected. Before I also thank Dr. Ofori for his wonderful presentation, I also want to thank Dr. Maha and congratulate him for his recent Crown Ambassador 1 achievement. It's wonderful, Dr. Maha, when I listen to your sharings and the motivations that you always give. I think following your way of doing things, one is able to get into business with full force. Okay, coming back to Dr. Ofori, thank you, Doc, for the presentation. One of the major challenges that some of us we usually have here in Cameroon, it's when you get connected and then you don't really have the background knowledge about some of the functioning of the body and how you can prescribe to somebody, it becomes a little bit challenging, you see, because I, for one, I never had a platform where I could get a medical doctor or somebody that is a medical personnel, a practitioner that is connected with the Superlife products. That, for example, when I have cases, I can maybe get to the person, right, and talk to the person so that the person can tell me the correct prescription I can get to prescribe to the patient, you understand? So that's a difficulty. I don't know, is there a platform where, for example, we can channel some of those questions?
What is this? Let me guide you on that before Dr. Ofori speaks on that. First and foremost, we are my advice to any one of you on that: do not play the role of a doctor, or don't even call our people the person that comes to you as a patient. In fact, in network marketing, our job is on wellness. Okay, guy, I just have to guide you. If there's somebody comes on any kind of sickness, any kind of sickness, any kind, I repeat, any kind of sickness, your answer to be a standard answer, because as you rightly said, we don't have the authority to speak on that. You just say that you try the product for 3 months to 6 months. 3 months to 6 months, okay? And you can, the person himself can see the changes happening. Because you see, our SLWC, what we are saying, consume the product, share the business. Consume the product, share the business. Many people mistaken this network marketing as I have to go and look for sick people and then sell them the product. If you want to do that, you sponsor a doctor like Dr. Ofori. Look in Cameroon, go to any of the clinics, go to any of the alternative medical center, or medicine, just go and talk to one of the doctors, say, doctor, I got this harmful product. You will be the man of authority to speak over that. Can I share what this thing? And then we can work. So get his database like that. That's the best way. Okay. You see, 50% of my sales in India comes from doctor, another 50% come from the network marketing. In same thing that goes in Sri Lanka now, 50% comes from doctor and the best coming from network. So that's why you can split, because we must move away from this thing that I must go and look for sick people. Sometimes I go into Papua New Guinea, I'm very scared to go into the groups because it's kind of pictures they send about people sick. I get sick when seeing that. Why am I saying that? You see, my father wanted me to be a medical doctor, but I see blood, I faint. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, and as anything sickness, like you see, we cannot, the company has got one medical doctor is advising that, but we told them just to talk on that. Even Dr. Ofori, I'm bringing here to give you confidence that is a power. But if everybody goes into selling mode on the product as a sick person, nobody will get the real benefit of the business. The real benefit of this system is use the product, share the business. When you use the product for you to take care of your health and you get confident, you prevent all the illness. Like Dr. Ofori explained very well, you must go through this video over and over and again. You see, if anyone has taken STC30 regularly from 2014, our system is balanced. Our system is balanced. It's all about consistency. The body loves consistency. If you don't take it consistently, then you'll disturb. It's not how much you take, but consistently. But the moment you got sickness, then how much you take is it comes into picture. Okay. So I hope I answered you on that part.
No, you've answered me.
Definitely guide you. I wanted to go in that direction. Until today, I have not personally sold even one product for sick or anything. I always give them business. I personally, my wife and I have signed up only 67 people. We have now 50,000 members worldwide. Okay. Wow. So the idea of bringing Dr. Ofori to come into this and it would give us the confidence that even sick people can be cured means what about people who are healthy? The world needs wellness, guys. You see the changes that are happening in US. Whatever happens in US is our big boss. Whatever happens in US, that's what the world will follow. Okay. So the US itself is going to wellness. Let us go into wellness deeply. Okay. I'm not discouraging you. I'm not cutting off your spirit. What I'm trying to say, let us move away from that and go into wellness. But if you any have sickness, you can always ask us. Dr. Ofori also can guide. We all can guide. And anytime, I learn a lot about a lot of new sickness from Africa. In fact, I don't know what sickle cell was. All that I learned. But I tell you, you can be a doctor. Very simple. If anybody quotes you any sickness, just go and Google. Like the other day, Bashir asked me, what is that disease? I said, honestly, I don't know. So while I was speaking to him, I immediately Googled. Then I understood what it is. It's all about relating to nervous system and all that. And I read about it thoroughly. Then after that, I'll go nervous system, that particular sickness and cells, what called stem cell. So all this is in Google now. If we really put our mind there, we also can give advice, factual advice based on what doctors have written. And one of the best website for you to go into is Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic has a lot of ways they have how to take care of your health. So these are the things that we need to do. Okay. Don't depend on a doctor. Go and sign up a doctor, please. Like Dr. Ofori. Okay. Dr. Ofori, you can cover on that part. Yeah. I hope I answered, Alvanas. Okay. Thank you.
No, you answered, Dr. Maha. You answered. Thank you very much.
All right. Most welcome. Okay. You see, guys, anything you focus will increase. If you focus sick people will increase. But once they get that, they're taken care of their health, they may not want to do anything. Then they may not even buy second time. They may not even buy that. I'm not trying to say we should not do that. That's our duty also to help them. But there are three categories of people who will come looking for us. One is the healthy ones. Whatever we showed around the STC30, the picture is prevention of all the sickness. Okay. So the healthy ones come, we keep them healthy. Then the sick people come, then we tell them you try for 3 months or 6 months. I cannot give you any this thing, but you try, because why we say 3 months or 6 months, body constitution is different. My body constitution, I may be the same age with Bashir, but my constitution is different from his. So the body chemical reaction will be different. For some people, they can say instantaneously. Some people maybe a couple of weeks, some people a couple of months. So according to the body chemical reaction, you see, that's why we say 3 months to 6 months. Then they themselves will tell you that the changes. No, anyone in the sick zone, they will see faster because they're already in the sick zone. The things will go and work faster, help them there, and they can see the changes. Anyone who's healthy, my children are very healthy. My wife used to give them, they say, Mommy, why are you wasting this? I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling anything. Then we say, you don't feel anything now, but if you take this now, you'll feel better as you grow older. Now, Corona is here around. We don't have to tell them. They just go and quickly take and they put in the mouth. They know that they see the danger around them. Okay. So I hope that covered. Luis has put his hand up. Luis is from, are you in New York now? You can also share. Go ahead, Luis. You can ask a question with Dr. Ofori.
Yeah, Dr. Maha, thank you so much for this maiden edition of targeting those who are in the diaspora. Oh, Dr. Ofori, welcome again for this wonderful sharing. Yeah, Dr. Maha, you are really a blessing to humanity. You know, what is so amazing about you is even reminding me that, look, Luis, the session is beginning because we thought it is tomorrow. So I have to quickly remind some of my friends. Superlife, you know, everybody sees me, Luis, you are looking fresh. I say, yes, life is super. Life is super. And it's all about what? Your story, your experience, putting smile on people's faces. And I know this edition will go a long way to help those of us in the US. I'm currently in New York. And yesterday, the picture I showed you, I happened to be at Times Square. It was awesome. So, Dr. Maha, I want to thank you. Dr. Ofori, I want to thank you again. Super life. Life is super.
How young are you? How young are you, Luis? You must tell Bashir now. How young are you? Bashir is also from US.
Yeah, Luis is 65 years old and he's looking young and young and young.
Okay, all right. Okay, and you're now currently Ruby, right?
Yes, I'm currently Ruby.
Okay, okay. He started off as a starter and he raised himself up to super, and then within a short period has become Ruby, and so you're heading towards your Emerald anytime.
And all this happened because of Dr. Maha and the Zoom meetings. Thank you, Dr. Maha. Super life. Life is super.
Life is super. Life is super. Okay, guys. Only when we raise ourselves, we can help people. Only when we are healthy, we can help people to become healthy. Okay, and unless we have like medical proficiency, like Dr. Ofori, then we can also take care of the sick people. But we don't have that. Let's help people not to fall that. Today, why I wanted to go into US very seriously, because US is in a very bad shape after this turmoil, and they are trying to come back. And you can see the 7 things they're doing now in the healthcare part, and we have all that in our STC, our whole system, Okay, and very, very important. We have to look from that point of view. Always come back, always bring back people into that angle. Since most of you all are leaders here, let me just quickly share with you before we end the session. Guys, very important, because the corona is very, very serious. Like what Dr. Ofori said, is mutating to Delta and so many other things. And people are just dropping down now. And everything is because it's affecting the lungs, guys. And the lungs and lung in our heart is very much connected, like what Ofori said. Like you see, life is no brief candle to me. It's a sort of splendid torch which I have got hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible. This is what Bernard Shaw said, and we have this in our hands now, and people really need this. And you know why they need this now? Because of the corona situation now. Health and wealth is very, very important for them now. Nobody wants to think about being sick now. They want to become healthy. So you can be efficiently doing this business, talking to people, but if you're not getting results, you're not effective. That is the 2 things. If one guy is working very efficiently, but is not getting the results because he's not effective. You see, efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. 2 different things. You heard about Dr. Ofori's sharing it now. You must listen to this over and over again. Free time, you must listen to that. When you speak, you will speak with vibration. You see why you're not attracting people when you are speaking. If you are monotonous, in a sense that you are mechanical in your presentation, you may not attract the people. But with what the Dr. Ofori is sharing now, which he has very kindly shared with us, very generously shared with us. Very rare doctors do that. And then the doctors don't want to give us all that, because you know why doctors' handwriting sometimes we can't even read, because if you read, then you will want to become a doctor and you will go and find the medicine and all that. But today internet has come up with a lot of information that is available for us, accessible for us, and there will come a time where you can do your own doctoring also, because this phone that you're going to have, smartphone, is going to be even more smarter. You can even do a lot of things that lawyers do, a lot of things that a lot of things that doctors do. Doctors are going to play the role of consultants now. Your own body, you're going to know better than the doctor when you go to the doctor. That's already happening. We're already moving to that phase of life now. So our body is our body. My health is my wealth. My wealth is my family's health. And to get all these new things coming, you need the money, guys. You need the money to come in. Okay. So to the world, the unreasonable man persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. You have to be unreasonable, guys. If you be reasonable now, you cannot bring progress to anything. If you look at all those persons who fought their way, since I'm in US now, I can quote so many names in US who were not reasonable to the people. They called them madmen when they started everything. But today the world runs because of that. From Walt Disney to Thomas Edison, to so many people we can quote. And today we say hello on the phone simply because of one guy called Alexander Graham Bell, okay, from Europe. All these guys did something first, and when they were trying to do it, they were called madmen. Today you may be mad for your friends and family, but once they see progress coming to you, and you will definitely be a great man for great people for that. So we have to bring this progress now, guys, and this is the best time for us to do that. And concentrate on all your thoughts in the work in your hand. That's the secret for success, no other secret. The sun rays do not burn until brought to a focus. You have to be focused, guys. Don't do this and do many other things at the same time. Okay, productivity is never an accident. Always the result of commitment to excellence, intelligence, planning, and focused effort. And I always wanted to go to US because payback time. I am what I am is all the books I read from the people of the US, from Think and Grow Rich to Dale Carnegie's works to the W. Clement Stone works. All the people. In fact, my early years of life, I only know all this management. In fact, I wanted to migrate to US myself until I met a spiritual master in India. Then I changed my mind. But today I'm going there back again through this wonderful opportunity. And we need to create a lot of people there, guys. And we need to have at least 10, 20, 30 leaders who see this the right way and need to spread. People like Luis, people like Bashir, all these people, they will spread the energy for us, and we can help people to see that. So focus on being productive instead of being busy. You know, business means busyness. But many people are very busy, but not getting results. Anything you do, you must begin with the end in mind. Why are you here? You must ask yourself. Okay? And very important. And now, be not afraid of growing slowly, but be afraid only of standing still. If you join this business from 2014 until today, you're at the same level, that means you're standing still. Never stand still, guys. If you are in the business today, and I always say, it's not how long you're in the business that matters, but how much of the business is inside you. Today, Dr. Ofori has opened up your minds to see the value of STC30. That's very, very important. That one product alone, the other three products are complementary. They are complementary, specializing on specific effect, but STC30, one product can help you a lot in keeping your wellness going, guys. Okay? Now, amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Stephen King said that. Okay, you don't sit and wait for inspiration. You have to get up and go to work, guys. And before I end, this is what I'm saying now. My health is my wealth. This is pandemic. We told this in 2014. This were my very words in 2014 itself, when I started the SLWC global system. My health is my wealth. And when we told this that time, nobody wanted to hear this seriously. But today, people's awareness is great because of the pandemic. The pandemic is created by the creator of all creation for man to be aware that his health is very important, and his health, look at the word HE, his energy is God's energy. And the God's energy is the breath is given you. If you don't take care of your breath, then your body won't be fine-tuned, guys. Your breath is the most important thing. Just please go and learn about deep breathing exercise in YouTube and then value your breath. Early in the morning, this morning I got up, I always focus on the breath first. After that, the food. Breath and food are our elixir of life, guys. Breath is the first elixir, second is food. Food comes from Mother Nature. And food must come from Mother Nature. Anything that comes from not from Mother Nature is not organic for your system. Why we give like pills when you take, doctors give you pills to take. Why you must eat some food first before you take the pill. It's not that empty stomach and all that. That's one reason they give what you call from medical point of view. But from psychological point of view, from spiritual point of view, your body hates pills. Anything that's chemical based, anything that's not organic, they hate it. And they resist on taking it. So you are persisting on taking it because doctors say so, and you want every pill, every ill there's a pill. And when moment you put a pill, you're you're disturbing the sync of your organs. The flow of your organs are disturbed. So that's why we give some food first. The cells are happy. And then we enter the pill. Okay. So very important. And the pandemic has made us realize that a lot of things organically you can take care of yourself. From coconut. Coconut was one time my family, everything we used coconut. Coconut milk, coconut this, coconut that. And even my hair is so good today is because the coconut, my mother used to have the coconut oil. And then came there was a thought, there was school, they say coconut is bad for you, cholesterol, this and that. But if you go to Kerala, a state in India, there is, everything they use coconut. But there's no problems or heart problems and all that. But today, US is coming back and telling us that coconut is good for you. What was bad then is become good for you. But ancient times, we are using coconut, guys. So you see, coconut is like STC30. I repeat that. If you got corona now or anything, one thing to put back your balance, the best thing is coconut water or anything related to coconut. All the components in that 1,3 is in STC30. STC30 is Mother Nature's combination of so many things coming in that. Coconut has got one that. So that just drink the water also can help you. But STC30 goes right into your cells and brings that back. And that's the beauty of STC30. So this pandemic is a very big awareness for people of how important the health is. The other awareness is you need the wealth. You see, even if you're not taking your time to worry about other things, but not focusing on your wealth, then you're going to deprive of your children, your family, or next generation. Because like what they are predicting now, this is just a test run, this corona. There are three or more unknown viruses that's going to come after this. It can happen, another pandemic can happen in the next 5 to 25 years. That's what Bill Gates said recently. So if this is the test run, means we have all on a trial, we have to prepare ourselves. If we didn't take Superlife 4 years ago, we would have been a victim of this situation now, pandemic. But because we took a chance in 2014, we have become a victim of the pandemic. And we have been able to withstand ourselves. You see, that's what you must tell people. When you go out and talk to people, a protection for your health, a protection for your wealth is a immunity. How do we work on this now? We have to work in one heart, one mind, one soul, guys. Unity is very, very important. The whole world has gone into divide and rule, and because of imperialistic nature of the people in the past, and we have been divided and ruled in our own country sometimes. And our natures were misused. I'm not putting down anybody, but that is used ignorantly. But now the Zoom is bringing us all together. Okay, see not the race, see the grace. Collaboration of soul for celebration of life. This is our life, guys. We have to take care of ourselves. And we have come here to enjoy this world. And above us, there are 7 heavens. Below us, there are six underworld. And we actually came from there and evolving ourselves, going upwards. And as we go upwards, how we take care of ourselves in this earth is very, very important. Now, health protection program is what I call our STC30. Wealth protection program is what I call our SLWC global system. So how do you promote this to people? You tell them we have a very powerful system. Don't tell anything else. Don't even say STC30. The moment you go into STC30, then they go into selling mode, then they'll talk about a sickness, then they'll bring in everybody in. Don't go into that mode, in fact. Go into system. We have a very powerful system. What does the system do? Now the corona has made us realize that health is very important. We got a system. Within the system, immediately you'll get products to take care of your own health. The wellness part. Today, everybody's awareness in wellness is great. Now, next is the system also gives you a Uber kind of concept where like Uber, you You can use the system now right from your home, and you can create your own income. And that's what the system does. As you take care of your health, you can take care of your wealth. And you can do this right from your home. You see, this 1 year, I never went out my house to do this business. But I've been traveling to so many countries. Under me, there are almost 30 countries, 30 agencies, guys. I just officially started one in Sri Lanka. And then we are going to open up another one. So all this happened because of Zoom. I must thank people like Prince. Prince took this business very seriously. And during the pandemic, he's the one who took us to so many countries in Europe. And we have an agency in Germany. And that agency, Lovermo is from Nigeria, and she's under Prince. And we have it in Germany. And we have in UK, Mr. Abiola Olefa. We don't have an agency in UK because we don't need an agency there. Products can go in easily, and then money can come out easily from UK. So we have Abiola is our first UK crown and created by our Dominator team. So you see, we are creating, wherever we are going, we are creating history, and we want people to grow in that part of the world. India now, the last 2 years we have been there. The legalities, the process is going on. Before the legality is up, now we already created almost 3 crowns there, guys. You see, when Dr. Ofori was talking about Corona and was showing all the crown part, I was something, a tagline came to me. If you don't want Corona to beat you, then you better be a crown. Be a crown to beat Corona. Okay, because Corona means also crown. Okay, so you see that the timing has come here now. So let us raise ourselves up and realize that we are a very powerful, soulful energy. The Creator sent down us here to enjoy our life. And He has given us a body. The body doesn't belong to you guys. I repeat, the body doesn't belong to you. The mind doesn't belong to you. Only one is that belongs to us is a small microchip inside our body. And that microchip that we have in the body is, if you pull out your hair, and then you see that at the end of the hair, the small white dot, that's how big we really are. And someone asked me, are you sure we are that big? I say, yes. If you go and look into your smartphone technology now, the whole world is in the smartphone now. 7 billion population is in the smartphone now. And a lot of information you get in the smartphone. And smartphone is using microchip. If man can create such a microchip, why can't the Creator? And we are going to go back a slide. And the body is given to you on list by the 5 elements: the fire, the water, the earth, and then air and space. And that's what this body is made of. When you came into your father's you traveled from your father to your mother's womb, the zygote was created. Around the zygote, all these elements like a bird building a nest. And the zygote attracted the vibration of all the 5 elements to form you and me. And also from the food the mother took. The mother's food is our until today, if we are healthy, it's because the food our mother took the 9 months. And we must thank our mother for that. Okay, so now you must balance these 5 elements, guys. In Chinese, we call it Feng Shui. If you buy a house, you buy a car, they will always look for Feng Shui. That means must balance with Mother Nature. What about your internal Feng Shui? STC30 balance is the internal Feng Shui, guys. And your internal Feng Shui balances when the breath comes in and the breath goes very well, your vibration works, your life around you will change. That's what happened to all the boys here. Suddenly I see them having the car, suddenly I see them having the ladies, suddenly I'm seeing them, everything coming from them naturally. So the basic things in life should come to us naturally. We shouldn't be struggling for basic things in life. I like Dr. Ofori's effort of taking and showing WHO's concern about the poverty in the world and problem on the world. So we are also contributing now to help people to come out from the poverty. Okay, so poverty is the biggest concern for sickness, guys. Poverty. And poverty, why people are in poverty? Because they are poor. Why they are poor? P-O-R, they're passing on opportunity repeatedly. Passing on opportunity repeatedly. So if you sit down and get a guy to make him see the bigger than what he's supposed to be, you're actually changing his mindset, changing his life, changing many generations to come. Like it was Harry Truman who said, President Harry Truman who said, the buck stops here. So whatever poverty people go through, the buck must stop here. It shouldn't go to the next generation, guys. So let us do our part. Let us do our work. And I thank Dr. Ofori for really taking his time. I was enjoying the presentation. I was looking at all the detail meticulously, because when I speak next time, I know the vibration will come even better. Because when someone is talking like that, When you learn to observe, your system will absorb everything. When listening does that for you guys. And then the 5 scans that you have in your body, your 5 senses will absorb everything. You don't have to memorize and remember anything. Okay. So we have a very powerful doctor in-house. That's a very, very powerful. And then we have a very powerful health product, STC30. We have SIC, we have SNC. Then we have also SCC 15, SCC Plus. And the company is going to come out anytime soon. Another one to take care of your exterior, your beauty. So we are very much health concerned. Thank you so much, you guys. Anyone of you want to share something today? Let us make this a first beginning for US. After this, we are going to go into our regular presentation of our product. This will be once a while, and regular presentation will be coming soon. So thank you for your patience and time they have taken. And we all are different parts of the world. We have come together to do this powerfully, guys. Okay. Somebody asked you a question here. All right. Somebody said, okay. Very good. Thank you so much. And anyone want to share anything, you can share now before we go. I see a lot of new people are coming here now. Fantastic. Okay. And very good. Your call have come in. I want to ask one lady. This lady is a banker. She's from Singapore. And she's also our business partner there. And she's also heading the agency. If you have any friends in Singapore, and she will help us out there very well. And she's doing a good job for us. Can I have Ms. Pakia, please, from Singapore, to share her feelings?
Thank you, Dr. Maha. It is such a wonderful opportunity to see Dr. Ofori and yourself partnering for this beautiful health talk. Actually, I should apologize because I almost forgotten about the timing.
No
yeah, then I came in a bit late. Sorry about that. So it's really a wonderful revelation that I received, especially about the bilberry and glycoside and gliadin, I think. I really is an eye-opener because I know some ingredients about Superlife products, but not in detail. So thank you, Dr. Ofori, for that, and Dr. Maha again. Okay, for me, I came to know about Superlife product from 2 beautiful souls when I was in Indonesia doing another business. And it was a coincidence, I would say, because it's 2 total strangers that I met when I was there for another business. And there, it only took about 8 minutes for this person to introduce about Superlife to me. And he doesn't even have a computer. All he had was a diary, and he just explained to me about the compensation plan, the product, and the management. And what struck me was the product, because I knew about stem cells, but I was never interested because of normally for Singapore, a lot of Chinese are into human and animal stem cells, which I'm not in for. So a lot of my colleagues, when they chat with me in the bank, mostly the Chinese, I'm the only Indian girl, a lady among 300 Chinese colleagues. So most of them, when they recommended, I turned them down because I was looking for something very natural. So when I was introduced to stem cells, I realized that it was from a super apple plus other 5 fruits. I was really very, very shocked. So I went for it, and I told after the 8 minutes presentation that I want to sign up for Superlife. Okay, so because if I start up with if I've taken up a star package, it will only be 2 boxes, which will not be sufficient for me, because I've been suffering from rheumatoid arthritis for 42 years. So it was an agony because 365 days I'll be suffering. I can't sleep, I can't sit down, I can't stand. Even when I go out for lunch, I can't be out for more than half an hour. Even shopping, I can't. I need to find a chair to sit down. So that was my plight, and I was really praying very hard for a wonderful product. And this is really a God-given product, because when I took this for my rheumatoid arthritis, I really felt the difference, because the pain slowly disappeared, not totally though, because I've been suffering for 42 years. So I wouldn't be able to expect a miracle within a few weeks or even a month. So I need to take on a long-term basis. So I went for super package, and took my credit card in Indonesia, and I went for it. When I was on it, I didn't realize myself that it also helped to lower my cholesterol, because when I'm going through this rheumatoid arthritis illness, naturally I'll have a high cholesterol and my blood pressure will shoot up. So most of my time, my reading was about 160, 170. Okay, so and after taking this product about 3 months, when I went for my specialist review, I was shocked myself, because I didn't know that while I was on it, I thought it only helped me for my rheumatoid arthritis, but it also helped me to lower my cholesterol and my hypertension. So even the doctor was very surprised. He said, wow, how come after so many years I see that your blood pressure is coming to normal and your cholesterol is lowered? So I knew down deep in my heart it was the work of the stem cells. So I really thank God for this beautiful product, and my two great leaders who introduced me to this product, the company and the compensation plan. And I start sharing with people. I realized that I received some income, so I decided to take up as a part-time to share with people, even though I have a full-time job in the bank. And also it helped me with my stress level, because working in the bank is so demanding, and you have to produce a lot of results and deadlines are there. So I really thank God for everything. And also Dr. Maha, he has always been giving me opportunity to speak during such great meetings, because I'm actually a very shy person, an introvert. I don't like to face audiences or even public speaking. So it was something that Dr. Maha always gave me the opportunity to speak in the midst of so many people, that actually I gained the confidence. All right, even when I was doing a master's in front of so many people from all over the countries, I don't have the confidence to do my marketing presentation. But because Dr. Maha gave this opportunity, I really gained the confidence to be able to speak out, okay? And I really thank God. And I always feel that Dr. Maha is a Jim Rohn of Asia. I really, really, really appreciate, because he's selfless, and he goes all the way out, okay? You may not be in his team, but he's there to share his knowledge, regardless of time and all that. So I really thank God for him, and also thank God for Dr. Ofori, and thank God for Superlife. Life is super. Thank you, Dr. Maha, for this great opportunity. Thank you, sir. And my great heartiest congratulations for your promotion, sir, and many more to come. God bless you more and more.
All right. See you at the top. All of you can be a Crown Ambassador, every one of you. In just within 1 year, you can. You just do what you're doing and keep enjoying what you're doing, and then do more of it. It definitely will come. One last person from Papua New Guinea, she's also here. Miss Hilda, you can share your feelings. Are you there, Miss Hilda? Yeah. Sometimes they are not able to unmute. Okay. So guys, before I go, I like to call upon the speaker, Dr. Ofori, to give his parting thoughts, and like he can wrap it up for us. And then all of you now, please take this seriously, and we will have a regular presentation in US for US market, and I will talk to Mr. Bashir and Louise and all that, the right timing for that market there. But on that particular day, we will sacrifice our time a bit, and I'm going to get presenters to do the presentation, and I will come in to support like this. And we are bringing now a lot of young presenters to do presentation for us guys, because they know how to do things very shortly, because they're all a YouTube mindset. What we ancient guys speak for hours, they will speak in within 30 minutes, the same thing, but more effectively. We just come and do the touch up for them, okay? So we'll get the young people to come and do the presentation for us. And because we also want them to learn to become speakers and trainers, okay? So we have powerful people like Darwina and young people are doing a wonderful job, and we'll be having more people that. I'm introducing one new young person in this coming Tuesday to do the English presentation, okay? So he's rocking now, and he's going to do our presentation next week. And Darwina will be main host there with Michael, okay, or Kenneth. Now, Dr. Ofori, you can share before we go. Last final thought from you. And how you see, and what made you to become as a Crown, and that part, and then how you see this business seriously.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Maha, and good morning to you all. It's now another day, and congratulations on your Crown Ambassador rank. This is a milestone that anybody can achieve. But what I would like to talk about is how I moved from a struggling associate to a crown diamond. And one of it was I had to train my mind, because I like taking statistics to pick. Look at the top income earners in Superlife. None of them is a medical doctor. What that means is that they were doing something I wasn't doing. So I had to study and realize that they are using what we call system. So any system you are in has a potential of indicating to you what income you will earn. So as a medical doctor, I was placed in a system, and there's a cap to which I can be paid. And it doesn't matter how hard I work, the system will choose to pay me once a month. But this Superlife model has a system that pays every single day. So if you put yourself in this system, at the beginning, you will not be making much, but people always look at instant gratification. Later, you'll be doing work for which you are not being paid. So I had to understand and train my mind. So I had to undergo professional development courses in things I didn't know. And once I picked those things up, it is very, very easy communicating. Now, the second thing I'd like to let people know is that success is something you attract. If you want to be successful and you are doing what you call chameleon marketing, you push it on people as if they don't do Superlife, they will not be successful. I used to do that. I thought that if people choose not to do the business, it's going to affect me. Little did I know that what I had in my hand was a gift, and I should offer it to people who were willing to take it seriously. So it doesn't really matter. You are looking for hungry souls, people who would like to take responsibilities. We all can make it. Who you are does not really matter in this profession. It's the hunger level, ability to apply yourself to study. So one of the things I recommend to people who are new in this business is that you can't do it all. Get a mentor who will direct you. Because I see that people are doing stuff for which we no longer do today. Some people want you to be physically present when there is Zoom to do. So it is key to know that the new order of business is connection. If people connect with you, it doesn't matter where you are, people will still come to you. Now, technology is key. Social media is key. If you are not marketing this product on your social media platform, is amazing. Go and look at statistics on corporate businesses and how much they pay on marketing. Now, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and other social media platforms is giving us free services for which all you need to do is to be consistent. So consistency with your technological models and social media platforms is also key. The next thing is that I see a lot of people, instead of focusing on themselves and developing first communication skills, they start blaming people. And I can tell you on authority, nobody has placed any team member in my organization. I had to build my organization straight from scratch to Crown Diamond. So anybody in my organization, I know them. So some people have businesses, and if you mention certain people, I know whether they are level 3, level 4, or level 5 associate in organizations. And I had to take keen interest in identifying trends. The last I want to talk about is that everybody give priority to what they believe is good for them. So for some people, Superlife is not a priority to them. So you think that it should be a priority to them, and they do not put in any effort. So have key performance indicator. And one of the things is showing up. If people picked up a business for which they paid, Dr. Maha is a Crown Ambassador, meaning that he has earned $500,000 cumulative income in 4 years. So if you were starting a business for which you went to take a bank loan of $500,000, would you leave the responsibility to somebody to be generating the income for you, or you will be there every single day. The startup capital in this business is a little over $1,000 for the super package. So people think that the business is small. Trust me, people have earned $1 million already in less than 4 years in this business. So the attention you give it will grow. So people are not giving attention to their businesses, and they are focused on do this for me, do this for me. So I have a model in my business. If you join the business in the first 3 months, I keep hold of you. In the next 3 months, I give you assignments. The third quarter in your business, you need to produce results. If you're not producing results, it means something is not working. You need to go through the models we have. So I call it V2MOM. First, build a vision. Where do you want to be a year from now? So today is 21st August 2021. Where will you be 21st August 2022? It has to be clear in your mind. Don't think, oh, next year, if and for some people, they want to be leaders. But I wanted to be a crown diamond. It wasn't that it's something that happened. I wanted it. I wanted it. I said I wanted to be a crown diamond. Some people told me it's not possible, because to them, they thought I needed them to be a crown diamond. Of course, I needed everybody, but I needed hungry souls. And it was clear to me who to focus my attention. The second thing is value. So once you have your vision, try and add value to the vision. A lot of people talk, and the clients they are talking to do not see any value in why they should join their organization. Once you are providing value, people will join you. So I see that a lot of people are giving mechanical speech. They talk and they don't personalize the presentation. So most of the things I do is my own presentation, because I have done this every single day for the past 2 years. So you have a vision, you have value. The third is measurement. Every single day, what are you doing? Some people do this business once a week. Some people do it once a month. Some people are even doing once a year, because Superlife is paying every single day. And at the end of 2021, they would have been paid only once, because they only did one sign up and they are complaining. So have measurement. Where do you want to be a month, 2 months, 3 months? You should know. The next is obstacles. Do not think that you are going to have a straight line from position A to crown. No. Other companies will come with their obstructions and distractions and telling you to compare their product because its efficacy is powerful than what we have. So if you do not have, if you are not observant of the obstructions in this business, you will think that you are not, because you are not producing results now, that is how it will be. But some people are watching you, and when they see your consistency, they will come and join you. So the V2MOM, we've dealt with the V, vision, the next V, value, the next M, measurement, the next O is obstacle, the last M is your milestone. I hope to see you as a crown diamond a year from now. So this is yours truly, Dr. Ofori. So next year, I will not be a crown diamond. I have it clear in my mind. I'm going crown ambassador by 2022. So I work every single day, even if I have a straight time, 30 minutes a day, every single day, 30 minutes I have to do Superlife, so that next year, 2022, by this time, I'll be a crown ambassador. It's super.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome for you, and wonderful soul. And that is Ofori, Dr. Ofori for you guys. He's so busy as a doctor. It's not easy to be a doctor nowadays, these days, with a corona around. And they are the most hardworking people. And that is why we have to give them an opportunity also about this business, guys. A lot of people, I see the way they drop down and collapse because of the number of people coming into the hospitals. My niece is a doctor herself. But we see them, I really feel sorry for them. Young people who came out to do their profession, today they are really suffering because of the number of patients that are coming. Why not? I always tell people, give them a system that can make money for them, and they can enjoy their work with passion and love. And Dr. Ofori is doing that job now. He doesn't have to put in his mind about money now anymore. If you are worrying about money while you are taking care of patient, you cannot give your performance at the best. But if your money is coming from a system and you can give the best to the person who's in front of you, whether the person is a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or any kind of profession, people need what we are having now, guys. This is not the network marketing that we know of before. This is totally a different ball game. SLWC Global is a system. You need an iPhone system. You need a laptop system. You need so many systems in your home to run your life. Today, you need SLWC Global system, guys. With that, thank you so much, guys. And with this, we are officially opening up the Americas. And let's work together from Alaska to down to Falkland Islands. And let's give our best to everyone's souls of that. They need us. Superlife, life is super. I'm going to unmute all of you. Let's say Superlife, life is super, guys. Okay. Superlife, life is super.
Superlife,
Super, guys.
super.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ofori.
Thank you, Dr. Maha.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Darwina. Thank you, every one of you. Okay. Superlife, life is super. Hilda, I was trying to unmute you. Thank you. Superlife, life is super. Okay, all the best. Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ofori. Bye bye. I'll upload the video later for you all. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Life is super. Bye.